back to News Geelong and Geelong Sport with the Flying Hawk, Nathan Curry. Good evening, Nathan.
Thanks very much, Rollo. I'm down here at the Geelong Football Club to catch up with their coach, Chris Scott, after their big match against Collingwood on Friday night and before their big match with Carlton this Friday night. But before we catch up with Scotty, I'll throw over to my good friend John Dunn, who brings us all the latest racing action from down here in Geelong.
Racing at Geelong here last Friday afternoon, and winter came 2 weeks early. Chilly conditions greeting racegoers when they arrive for the day's racing. In the first event, there was some good money for some of these young 2-year-olds, but the Sheik, Mohammed, drew first blood when the Lee Treatment trained filly Florence scored a big win on debut in the Chisholm Petroleum Maiden Plate. David Hayes is the leading trainer here at Geelong thus far this season, and he extended his lead in the premiership by one more when duly led 8 State his rivals in the distance event. The bookmakers, well, they were knocked off their stands in the Centrebet Maiden Plate when the locally trained galloper, the big money came for Staxer, and jockey Craig Newitt had a look around in the straight to see where his rivals were, and when he did that, punters knew to head straight for the payout queue. Local trainer Craig Conran, well, he landed a winning double for the afternoon when the good galloper Rabati ran up to his recent good form. He appreciated the drop in class and proved too strong for his rivals in the Puralist handicap. And that's the wrap-up. Friday afternoon racing, winter style on the synthetic here at Geelong. And we play again next Friday afternoon. Look forward to seeing you here.
Thanks very much, JD. Well, now that racing's done for this week, we'll head out to Beckley Park for the feature race at the Geelong Greyhound Racing Club.
Racing, Al Granson, you're only fair to go off the insides, but trying to really push on the inside. He's going to take the lead. There goes Al Granson. You're at by 3 or 4 lengths now over McHugh Magic. Followed up on the rails by Dark and Rail. Rest headed by Martilli Baylor. A fair way back then, Jacina, Connemara Susie, and Kian Prince and Super Payment came down and out, but Al Granson, you're turned in front, racing right away. There goes Al Granson, it's going to romp in on return by about 10 lengths here over Martilli Baylor, who'll grab second.
We'll now turn our attention to the Geelong and District Football League, where we caught up with Werribee Central's coach David Leach after their big win over Thompson.
After a great first quarter, kicked 11 goals to 1, and then you sort of turned around and Thompson got back into the game. Can you tell us why that happened and what you said to your players?
Yeah, the first quarter was good. We played in patches all year. I suppose we brought another 3 or 4 new blokes to the club, and we really haven't clicked yet. And we probably haven't played 4 quarters of footy, so that's happened every game to us, which is disappointing. First quarter, I thought, hello, maybe we can put 4 quarters together, but we didn't. To Thompson's credit, they came out in the second quarter. They stuck to their guns. They played their full ground press. We turned over the football a bit. We didn't kick to the right spots. We know how to get through the press. We worked okay in stages, very frustrating in other stages. To their credit, they stuck at their guns. What did I say to my players? Quarter time, we set up pretty good. I thought the second quarter we weren't hard enough at the pill. I thought they got a bit of a spray, and they I suppose went into the second quarter with a bit more intensity than they did in the first. To their credit, they outscored us, and I think we won by probably about 6 goals, and win on the road when we're trying to get to where we need to go to. We'll take it, but it wasn't convincing, that's for sure.
Yep. Can you tell us a little bit about Callum Mary coming back to the club and how he's fitted in at centre forward?
Yeah, Matty Camilleri. Maddie's been good. I brought Maddie back to obviously play footy for the fact that we'll have another key forward. I don't want him to play too many games at his age, and he'll play a couple on. He has obviously some restrictions with work as well, so he'll play probably another 3 or 4 games, and then hopefully we can put ourselves into the finals, and we'll go from there. Maddie's fitting in really well. He's a very good forward. He's played some really good football at obviously in VFL level and country football, so he's been really good for us, good for the young blokes. So he's fitted in pretty well.
Yeah, and Toby Bray, obviously, he's been really good for you. He's really fit now and really doing his job in the midfield.
Yeah, I think Dick might have had a go at him on the footy show, said that he might have put on a bit of weight, but he's actually lost probably 15 kilos, and he's actually looking pretty good and getting the ball and hunting the footy. He had a pretty good first quarter. He went out of it in the second quarter and came back into the parts in the second half. He's been playing some good footy for us, but at the same time hasn't been playing a four quarter effort yet, like many of us.
Thanks for your time, David. Well, now it's time to catch up with our good friend Chris Scott. Now, Scotty, what can you tell us about Cameron Ling?
Well, we'll know more after training this afternoon, but he was a little bit sore, so there's no certainty to play, but we're hopeful.
What can you tell us about Darren Milburn and Cameron Mooney?
Again, a little bit will depend on training. Moon's trained pretty well over the weekend, given what he could do, and Dash didn't do a hell of a lot, so again, we'll know more in a couple of hours, but it's looking promising.
Finally, mate, how did the boys pull up after Friday night?
Mentally, it's a tough game as well, and will be again this week. But we're trying to keep things as consistent as possible. Again, I mean, I don't want to bore you, but last week was important, this week's important, but long term is even more important. We've still got some things we need to work on, but we certainly won't be using the physical condition of our players as an excuse. We've had some pretty good breaks. We've already had a bye. Plus a 12-day break before the Hawthorn game. So physically, we think we're in pretty good shape.
Yeah, thanks for that, Chris. It's back to you, Rollo.
Thank you, Nathan. A single only tonight. And now to the Geelong weather. It's a very good evening to sparkling Lani Salathiel, looking at the next 6 days of late autumn Geelong weather. Good evening, Lani.
Thank you, Graham, and good evening to all on this crisp, cold night. Let's have a look at the coming week of expected weather in and around Geelong. For tomorrow, Thursday, will be a partly cloudy day with an expected top of 18. For Friday, we'll see cloudy conditions continue with a top of 19. Starting off the weekend, Saturday will be a partly cloudy day with areas of rain later in the day and a top of 19. For Sunday, we'll again see the cloudy conditions continue with areas of rain tending to scattered showers and a top of 16. And starting off another week, Monday will be a cloudy day with some scattered showers, becoming windy also, and a top of 15. For Tuesday, we'll see windy conditions continue with cloud and a few showers and a top of just 14. Today was a partly cloudy day with cool range of temperatures from 5 this morning to a top of 17 during the day. And that was the weather for tonight. Have a pleasant evening and stay warm. Until then, it's back to you, Graham.
Thank you, Lani. And thank you for being with us on News Geelong. To our good friend Mick Tucker from Anarchy, happy 83rd birthday. May there be many more to come. And Mick, remember, take your time and smell the flowers. From all the team at News Geelong, have a pleasant evening and a very good night.